There are tons of stories out there about hacked Pokemon games. Some of them really quite neat, such as the one about a version where you get a ghost as a starter. Some are ridiculous, silly stories about individuals dying after playing a game, or the game talking to them. God, don't these writers know less is more when it comes to writing these stories? Oh well, I digress. I grew interested in these hacked games that are apparently in any thrift store, on eBay, or handed out by homeless people to random passerbys. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting these creepy people. I merely found this particular cartridge in the trash bin when the garbage truck backed into my neighbor's dumpster. I noticed the game and asked the trash man if I could take it, and he didn't seem to mind. It was thrown away after all. Of course, I checked with my neighbor to confirm if they actually didn't want it, though they seemed perplexed, as if they'd never seen it in their life. Their son made a grab for it, a little boy who saw the Charizard on the cover, crying out, "Pokemon! I want Mommy!" But his mother told him no, seeing as I found it. He didn't even have the Game Boy anyway. He just liked Pokemon. Thinking nothing more, I simply went home looking at the cartridge sticker on the way. Just a plain old red version. The sticker torn slightly across the Charizard's neck, but that was expected with such an old game. I had a blue version as a kid, so I was a bit eager to see the oblique minimal differences red version had. I was rather disappointed by what I saw when the title screen showed up. Pokemon Strangled red version. Well, damn it. It was a hack. Hacks were neat and all, but they had zero maternity value. The original is quite valuable by now, and I wanted to play red anyway. Not this crap. Oh well, it was free. Might as well try it. The name was odd, however. Strangled red? That made no sense. Not even in a morbid description of someone being asphyxiated as people turn blue when choking. Not red. Who knows? Maybe there was a pair of these hacks and I just got the red one. The more I thought about this though, the more interesting it became. My initial disappointment turned into curiosity. I wanted to know what the creator had made, and I was going to note everything I saw. The first oddity I noticed was the start screen. It had a Charizard next to the trainer instead of a Charmander. Also, the Pokemon never cycled through like in the original versions. It just stayed on Charizard, even after 5 minutes of waiting. Shrugging it off, I hit start, noticing there was no Charizard cry. Weird. I saw there was a continue option, so I figured I'd do what everyone did with used games and see what the previous owner had done. No. I blinked in surprise. No. What do you mean no? The game wouldn't let me continue no matter what though. On the 4th attempt, I heard the Charizard cry. Quiet and barely audible, but there. Shrugging it off, I decided to just hit new game, like I would have done after checking the old file anyway. The screen cut to black for a while. No Professor Oak. No starting theme. Just nothing at all. Eventually the screen came back showing a bedroom, 2 beds, 2 TVs, and a computer. In the corner, my trainer sprite was the usual one. Consistent with the original red version, I was curious as to why it didn't ask my name, though that was answered as I opened the pause menu. I noticed my trainer was named Steven. No, this isn't my real name, or some stupid crap like that. This game isn't self-aware or haunted. At least, not that I know of. It's just I had chosen a name already. Curious, I saw he had the starter amount of money. No badges. He didn't look like red though. His hair was longer. almost reaching halfway down his back. Red's usual smile replaced with a confident smirk. Honestly, I found this sprite much cooler than Red. Next, I checked out his Pokemon, a single Charmander, level 5, named Miki. Nothing was odd about it, or should I say her, with the name and all. She had beginning Charmander stats, only knew Scratch and Tail Whip, basic stuff. The game seemed relatively normal. Returning to the game, I walked about the room, noticing Steven's long hair present on the back of my trainer sprite when my back was turned to the camera. I didn't recognize the house, but I descended the stairs to see more. Downstairs was another trainer who spoke in an instant I came down. Mike. Ready yet? Steven. Yeah. I assumed this Mike was my rival, pre-decided for me, a replacement of Blue most likely, though I thought back to the bedroom having 2 beds, realizing they weren't just rivals, they were brothers. They talked back and forth, basic Pokemon dialogue, become a Pokemon master, catch 'em all, stuff like that, before having a little argument over which is better, Charmander or Squirtle, which of course led to the introduction battle. Like the one versus Blue in the lab, simple enough, scratch tackle, till I won, purely for having the first turn. I took note of how much better Steven's sprite looked in combat than Red's. A different pose, his hair looking like it was blowing in the wind, a brief minor upgrade, but still much nicer. I left the house after some more banter with my brother, stepping out to the Pallet Town theme. Going to the east, I found this was indeed Pallet Town. The house was simply on the outskirts to the west. I noticed there was no more grassy field like in the normal Pallet Town. Wandering about, I decided to check in on Red's home. His mother was inside, and when I talked to her, she commented on how handsome Steven looked, hoping her son would look up to him as a role model for when he became a trainer himself next year. Which of course led me to realize this game took place a year before the original Pokemon. Red was even upstairs playing the Super Nintendo in his room, commenting, "I'm gonna be the best too when it's my turn." I was starting to like this hack. It was interesting, a completely new adventure, a different character. Hell, Steven even seemed to have a history with the people in this town, a reputation, a personality beyond a silent protagonist. The people in the town talked to him as a person, making conversation, not just spouting tutorial crap. Even Blue's sister had a new dialogue. They seemed to be in a relationship too, as the dialogue ended with a kiss and a heart over her head. Professor Oak wished me well, giving me a Pokedex to aid my adventure. He wasn't giving it to me to be the reason behind the adventure like every other Pokemon game out there. He gave it to me out of the kindness, something to help me on the way, a gift. I was liking this more and more with each second. The game seemed to have an actual story now. I was somebody, not just a cookie-cutter protagonist anyone could be, not some blank sheet that could be replaced without notice. The story was different though. The actual gameplay remained unchanged. I went north like I was supposed to, went from town to town, collected badges, received the praise of the leaders. Steven's fame even seemed to spread, as some NPCs talked like they knew him. I used Miki for every battle, and she was growing surprisingly fast. She handled Brock with ease, even pounded Misty with no trouble at all. She wasn't as adversely affected by super effective attacks as others, did more damage than a regular Charmander. She was a veritable powerhouse. She even became a Charizard at the mere level of 25. Not bad at all, I must say. Things started to get weird though. As soon as I reached Lavender Town, I know, Lavender Town is the focus behind every creepy story. But it was the only place that was noticeably different. There was no Team Rocket invasion, which I found odd, though I remember this was a year in the past, so the invasion wouldn't have occurred until Red's time. I tried to enter the Pokemon Tower, aiming to get a Ghastly, but that's when it got odd. Steven, I have no reason to be here. Steven wouldn't go into the Pokemon Tower no matter what I did. This was weird. I mean, hell, there are a million places in Kanto you really have no need to be. Little random houses with nothing but children and NPCs, for example. Why was it here that Steven wouldn't enter? With a shrug, I figured I wouldn't need a Ghastly, seeing as Miki could handle anything. So I simply went on my way, Lavender Town serving no purpose other than a passageway with a Pokemon Center. The game progressed normally from there. The remaining gyms fell, and eventually I made my way to the Elite Four and defeated them. As with Blue, my brother, Miki was there before me, initiating the championship battle, which Miki swept with ease. The aftermath of the battle was quite pleasant. None of the tension that was present between Red and Blue at the end of their match. The brothers congratulated each other on their progress and shook hands before the screen went white. No Hall of Fame, nor any credits. When the screen came back, it was the house again. The two brothers sitting at the computer conversating with each other. Steven, I don't want to. Mike, come on. I just gotta borrow her for a second to finish the Pokedex. The entry won't register unless she recognizes me as a master for just a second. Steven, but she's my Miki. Mike, I promise I'll give her back. Come on, please. Yes or no? I was a bit perplexed. So, hit no to be cautious? Mike, come on, please. No. Mike, come on, please. I realized this would simply continue to loop until I hit yes. So I did, just to see what would happen. Mike, alright, this will take just a second. Then we'll both be Poke Stars. Steven. ... The screen changed to the animation shown when two people trade Pokemon, which I found a bit weird seeing as I was solo. But whatever. This was what was supposed to happen. Miki went first. I watched lazily as she began to travel down the trading tube. Snap! That made me jump. The sudden noise resonating in my silent bedroom, loud due to the volume being way up. Looking at the screen, I noticed the game had seemed to freeze. Miki's still in mid-trade, but the game wasn't doing anything. With a sigh, I just turned off the game, wondering when my last save was. When the game turned back on, I stared for a moment at the screen. There was no Charizard next to the trainer. Upon pressing start, I saw the new game option was absent, leaving only continue. This was strange to say the least, so I selected it with the game starting without even showing my stats as usual. My jaw dropped at what I was greeted with. 1 year later. What is going on, my Pokemon Masters? Mr.Typhlosion blowing up your ears with this intro slash outro. I hope you guys enjoyed that first half of the CreepyPasta Pokemon style reading going on here. Your feedback on this video will dictate if I do the second half of this or if I even continue doing these. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know how you guys feel about this. This could be a regular thing, maybe on the weekends, like every Friday or something. We can do a creepypasta reading or something other. It doesn't have to be just Pokemon. It can be any creepypasta reading. You guys can suggest it. Let me know. Give me your opinions, what I should do about that, if I shouldn't do that, if I should just stick to power saves and Pokemon, and just let me know what you guys want to see. That's what the comment section is for, and I do look at that. You can ask the people that have commented it down in the comment section below. I do my best to go ahead and reply to them. So, like I said, let me know. If you did enjoy this, give a big thumbs up. I will link where I got this from, the site where I got this from, and put it down there in the description, not in the comments. I'm not going to post anything in the comments. I'm going to post everything in the description. So we're going to nip that little, if someone does try to hack me or does try to impersonate me, I will post everything in the description. And then the comment section are for you guys. So with that, I hope you guys did enjoy today. This little thing, whatever you want to call it, creepypasta reading. There we go. But I'm going to get out of here. So to all my Pokemon masters out there, have a great evening.